Today we have a 2014 S550 with about 130,000 miles on it. It came in with a massive oil and coolant leak. And so we're basically gonna do a coolant overhaul, and we're gonna take apart the front of the engine to fix an oil leak. So one of the first steps we took was we pressurized the coolant system and we found a leak at the rear of the engine. So basically what was leaking was a fitting that goes into the cylinder head and goes to a hose that goes to the firewall. So we're gonna be ripping apart the wiper arm assembly, taking that out, and also replacing that fitting at the back of the engine. So another major coolant leak that we found was coming from the water pump. So these pulleys like to walk off and then coolant likes to leak out from behind it. So we're gonna be replacing the water pump along with some turbo coolant lines and some radiator hoses. So while we were in there looking for the coolant leak, we also wanted to determine where the oil was coming from. So we found that the upper front timing covers were leaking. They were leaking oil all the way down onto the alternator on the underbody panels. But we also found that the oil filter housing was leaking. So we're gonna replace that. So when you have a major oil leak like this, what likes to happen is oil likes to travel down onto the drive belt and the pulleys. So we're gonna be replacing those as well. So once we determine the oil and coolant leak, what we like to do is look over the whole vehicle to make sure it's safe. What we found was that the lower control arm ball joints were loose, but also the front differential was also leaking. So what we're gonna do is take care of that as well for the customer.